as we all tuned in to watch. Had to wait 45 minutes because of a weather delay in Omaha, but a primetime showdown of two of the very best teams in college baseball in 2026. And safe to say Jack Farrell, one side came in loose and confident and got an all-time A-plus performance from their ace starting pitcher. That could have been Texas when you say that, right? Both teams have a Friday night ace who has dominant stuff when they're right. And one side of this equation, Texas v. Georgia, came in loose and confident and with some swagger, and their ace dominated. The other, I just got to say, was wound tighter than my 53-year-old hamstrings that I need to stretch more. They got a B- to a C+ start from their All-American starter. And while they're usually reliable, his teammates around him delivered their worst defensive performance of the year, to say the least. And that's the long and the short of it. The SEC champion Georgia Bulldogs played like a champion. They won 7-1, beat Texas on Saturday night in Omaha. And now the Bulldogs will play a winner's bracket game tonight with the Oklahoma Sooners, who blitzed Alabama on Saturday. They're playing great, but man, Georgia is on a mission, it feels like. And it's one thing to lose to Georgia. It's another thing to give the game away and not even be competitive. And that's what the humbled Longhorns appeared, right? They're now going to play for their season at 1 o'clock this afternoon against that Alabama team that got trucked by Oklahoma on Saturday in a loser's bracket matchup. But let's focus on the events of Saturday night. I mean, this is a much anticipated game. We talked about all week. They hadn't met in the regular season or in the tournament. Two best teams, first and second place in the conference. But man, the tone was set early. After the 45-minute or so rain delay, Georgia pitcher Joey Volchko, right-hander, went to the mound. He's a hard thrower. He's got electric stuff, but he's dealt with control issues all season. He'll walk 3, 4, 5 guys in a game, and then he gets a little bit off. He's got to go into the stretch, gets him out of his rhythm. And that's why when he threw a first pitch strike to Texas leadoff hitter Aiden Robbins, but then 3 straight balls, you're thinking, okay, all right, how about a leadoff walk to start this occasion here? But you get the guy in the stretch early, get Carson Tenney on the at the plate. Well, no such luck. Volchko delivered back-to-back strikes, and to strike 3 was a sweeper wide that would have been ball 4 had Aiden Robbins not chased it. But he chased, and it was kind of a sign of the times for the Longhorns.
First of many.
Volchko then struck out Carson Tenney on 4 pitches. He struck out Anthony Pack on 3 pitches. So 3 Ks, 12 pitches against the top of the Longhorn order. That's the best 3 hitters in their lineup. That was not optimal, and it showed, oh man, this guy, Joey Volchko, is on, and had Aiden Robbins not swung at ball 4, who knows, gets on base. This is where that guy struggles. In the end, he got in a groove, and Carson Tenney went in 4 pitches, Anthony Pack in 3. 7 pitches to get the next 2 guys after he went to a 3-1 count with your leadoff batter. Well, then it was Dylan Volantis who comes out and walks the leadoff batter. That's supposed to be Volchko. What are we doing? I mean, Dylan Volantis has only walked 25 batters all season going into that game. All year.
Yeah, I mean, the game was over 3 batters in.
Felt like it.
I mean, it was 2-0. Texas only scored 1. It was a ball game.
You're not letting me walk us through this thing. Well, I mean, he's only walked 25 batters, and so he walks the lead off, and then, as you said, Dylan Volantis, who's only allowed 2 home runs all season. All season. We're talking about a team that you expect them to show up, play their best in this spot. They look nothing like the team we saw all year. Here's how it sounded. 2 batters in, already a walk. Only the 26th on the season for Dylan Volantis. And then Ryan Lujo at the plate.
On the 1-0, that ball is pulled down the line. This one has some carry on it. Did it go off the post for a homer? The ball is still in play.
It did go off the post. The fair pull for a home run. Carl Ravitch on ESPN. And 2 batters in, it was 2-0 Bulldogs. And as Jack said, that was much all you needed. But we all tuned in to watch it. And that's not just the 3rd long ball Dylan Volantis has given up all year. And the powerful Dogs, who lead the world in home runs this year, had already set the tone. And then the even more unthinkable happens. Dylan Volantis begins to dial things in and get that curveball biting. And his All-American catcher, Carson Tenney. Are you sensing a theme here? Who coming into this game had committed just 2 errors all season. 2 in 58 games. Followed up Volantis 2 swinging strikeouts with throwing errors to Ashton Larson down at first base. So should have been an out. Make the throw down to first base because the ball was in the dirt and it got away from you. First one sailed over Ashton Larson's head. Second one went wide right as he tried to rush it. And Georgia was able to add 2 more runs in that frame without a hit and take a 4-0 lead. And as you said, that was really the ball game because Joey Volchko proceeded to dominate the Longhorns. He allowed just a single run recorded 27 outs, all of them by himself with no bullpen help, 15 by strikeout. And, Jack, you can cue the Will Bednar Mississippi State memories of 5 years ago, right? Where he struck out 18 Longhorns in the first game of the College World Series, 15 Longhorns. So there's that Mississippi State memory. And how about Kirby Smart's football team against Sark in football? Is there something mental with this Georgia team that Texas runs into? This is what Sark's football teams look like when they play Georgia. I mean, they look good most of the time or all year, and then they play the Georgia Bulldogs and look like a mess. I don't know, because that's what Texas does when they play football against Georgia. This is what they did against with the baseball team. And here's Jim Schlossnagle's opening thoughts about this ball game. Wasn't a good performance for his Longhorns.
I felt like there was the two stories to that game. Number one, Volchko was awesome. Didn't walk a guy until the ninth inning through endless amount of strikes. I was actually super impressed in an era of baseball where there's strikeouts and emotional things happen in the game, and I didn't see him once, scream at our team or do anything that some of the kids do these days. I thought he was super professional and was outstanding. Then the other story of the game is, from a defensive standpoint, that's the worst game we've played the whole season, which is super disappointing on our end. That's a very bad taste in our mouth, and we're certainly looking forward to a good day of practice tomorrow and getting back on the field on Monday to play better baseball, because I don't know if it would have mattered considering Volchko was so awesome, but yeah, that was not good on the part of the Longhorns.
Speaking of only a couple of errors, only a couple of home runs allowed, only 25 walks. That's just the third time in 59 games now this season that the trio at the top, Aiden Robbins, Carson Tinney, and Anthony Pack, have gone without a hit. They went 0 for 15. They were a part of the strikeout parade. By the way, one of the other instances in when that happened, the top three went without a hit. Those three players, the best three hitters on the Longhorn team, it was done by Zane Adams in Alabama back in April, and that's who the Longhorns will face today when their season is on the line at 1 o'clock. But disappointing to say the least on Saturday night, Jack. That was not what you tuned in to see.
You're not going to win any games if you give up 5 free runs.
Yeah.
7 runs, 2 earned on that home run at the very beginning of the game. The other 5 runs scored by Georgia were not earned. You can't do that against Missouri or South Carolina.
No.
You certainly can't do that in a College World Series game against the best team in the country.
No, I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, I think they gave up 9 free bases.
3 errors, 5 unearned runs.
It was pathetic, really, and sad. Like, what it was like, when I keep comparing the mental side of Texas v. Georgia, it was like the game Sark and his team played here in Austin against Kirby Smart's team where Quinn Ewers had to be benched. It's like, what is happening? Like, you guys have lost your minds. I don't know what's going on. But it was across the board, and we'll hear from Jim Schlossnagle on it. But let's hear Schlossnagle when asked what made Joey Volchko so damn good, because he was dominant, and you got to tip your cap sometimes to a starting pitcher who's got that ace elite stuff and was able to put it together and execute a game plan.
I mean, how many? I don't know his full season. We didn't play him. How many starts has he gone through without walking 3 or 4 guys? He was dominating strike one. It wasn't so much we weren't taking. It was just, his fastball, it's a very unique fastball. 94, 97 with extreme cut, and it's pretty much a slider. And then he throws the sweeper and he, usually you get him to 2 strikes and he'll yank some pitches. And I mean, he had his A game tonight. We didn't play Georgia. I don't know if he's had a better game than that. I don't know. The first batter of the game, somebody told me that we had a chance to get ball 4 there. Whether that changes things, I don't know. But I think once he got through that first at bat and then punched out the side, he got a lot of confidence, and he was outstanding. I mean, that's what happens in these when you're playing at this level against these great teams.
All right, he was outstanding, and as you said, Jack, the unearned runs and all that really was moot, because the Longhorns did mount but one rally in the game. It was Ethan Mendoza, who's now dealing with a shoulder that may have been re-aggravated. Well, we'll see if he's even able to play today.
Probably the 1 RBI. Good for him.
He had the 1 RBI, and the best at bat was Adrian Rodriguez, who comes off the red-hot weekend, in the super regional round against Oregon, and he had a good at bat against the guy that was just throwing, elite stuff, according to the head coach. Here's Adrian Rodriguez. But listen to Adrian here. This is him talking about his at bat He's able to get on base and score the only run of the game for the Longhorns. But also, did his team get a little sped up here? Did they, I don't say collapse to the moment, but was the pressure too much against a Georgia team that, you have to play your best game, and by far the Longhorns did not?
Yeah, as a lefty, I just knew everything was coming into me, so I needed to kind of beat it to the spot. And I was just going out there, just competing and just playing the game like I usually do, just having fun. And the game can sometimes speed up on you. Maybe that happened to some of the guys, but I know that they can come back and recollect themselves and compete.
All right, did the game speed up? It felt like it, especially for Carson Tenney. And again, I don't know if the Longhorns win if Carson Tenney gets, my man Dylan Valance had to get like 5 outs in the first inning. He gave up the home run after the leadoff walk, but he struck out a couple dudes that should have been outs, and they weren't. That's tough to do to a starting pitcher. And I'll give Dylan Valance a lot of credit because he then battled. Looked like he was going to be out of the game because he pitched out of a bases-loaded jam after the 2 errors and was, as they scored 2 more runs without a hit. But he was able to get out of that frame, and then he got you all the way into the 6th inning. And it was a 4-1 game where it felt like, okay, one rally, but Volchko was just lights out.
Yeah.
I want to hear from Jim Schlossnagle on his catcher, who really, a lot of Longhorns had rough nights. No one had a rougher first inning and night than Carson Tenney. He didn't, he was part of the strikeout parade and had 2 really little league errors.
I mean, the first one, just got away from him. It's an imperfect game played by imperfect people. Like he's an All-American player, going to be a high draft pick. He's the heart and soul of our club. The first one, that's just, if you play 100 games, it's going, it's something like that can happen. The second one, he didn't get to block it, and then he was in a rush to try and throw it, and he slung it a little bit. So, and then he had one later in the game where he played a lot better catch on it. So, Carson's a great player. He's an unbelievable human, and it's unfortunate that it happened in that game. I expect him to respond in an awesome way on Monday.
All right, in an awesome way against the guy Zane Adams at Alabama, who's a really good pitcher.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Alabama doesn't hit like Georgia does, and they don't have the bats like Georgia does, but this is a season-saving opportunity for Texas, but now you're in the losers bracket, which, look where North Carolina is over on the other side. North Carolina's 2-0.
Yeah.
So now you're in a situation where Troy will play West Virginia, and whoever wins that game while Carolina's sitting back and waiting will have to then beat Carolina twice.
It's wide open for UNC.
Yeah.
They're walking in right now.
And the winner of tonight's Alabama-Georgia game will be in the same spot. I did say all last week, and I still believe this, the winner of on Saturday night's game was going to win the national championship. I still believe it. I think Georgia is the odds favorite. Without it, I think they were coming in as the team to beat. But their performance, 7-1, taking advantage of Texas charity. And here's another quote from Jim Schlossnagle. I don't have the actual audio because I think he said it yesterday when meeting with the media. He said, we spend more time, effort, and money than any program in the country on the mental game. That's why actually last night was so disappointing, because I did see some guys super sped up in the moment. So that's frustrating. If you work on it and work on it and work on it, then you get there, big stage, and that happens, and it may cost you your season because now Georgia's in the advantaged position. Oklahoma's red hot. And you've got to play through the losers bracket and just survive today. That's disappointing.
Yeah, you never know until you're there, right? But the one silver lining for Texas, I would say, is Dylan Valantis, credit to him after how rough it was to start. He threw 114, I think it was, pitches. And you really the only guy that you're going to count on was Crossland. He threw 14 pitches, or maybe 17, whatever it was. But you only use Crossland and Winter after Valantis. So you go in tonight. Or today, I think it's Ruger Riojas that's going to be on the mound, and you have a full complement of whatever arm you want behind him there. And, of course, you're going to use it. I mean, wouldn't it have been a little bit worse if you lost that game, 6-5, and you used 4 different key bullpen arms?
Yeah,
that's
Luke
the silver
Harrison had
lining.
Gotten into the game.
Right.
Yeah,
you have everybody behind Valantis at this point. You're
right, and now you're going to have days off in Omaha too because they go every other day with the bracket, which gives you time, and you got to regroup. And that time invested in the mental game has to show up because they've got to perform. I will say this: one other silver lining on a rainy morning, the Texas women's softball team lost the first game to Tennessee, won the national championship, if memory serves. In a double elimination format. A little bit different with a pitcher like Tegan Cavan and her ability to bounce back. But, yes, just saying. Just Texas baseball lost the first game. Wasn't pretty either. But here we are. Texas baseball disappointed. It's 2009 now, the last time the Longhorns got to Omaha and won the first game. They've never won the national championship when losing the first game. It's very, very difficult.
And they've
to do.
never gotten back to the final series after losing that first game.
I mean, odds would
2009 they lost to LSU in the final.
Odds would tell you, and at least just the way the game goes and the way this double elimination format goes, the winner, North Carolina is going to play the winner of tonight's Oklahoma-Georgia game. And that's the advantage it is when you go 2-0. And the other team's got to waste its pitching to get back to you. And again,
the winners get the day off.
Well, yeah, West Virginia, Georgia, West Virginia, Troy, who have to now play, they got to go beat Carolina 2 times. Mm-hmm. And that'll be the case for whoever wins Oklahoma, Georgia tonight in this side of the bracket with Alabama and Texas. So